it's definitely different. You have people that can play 5-on-5 and people that can't play 3-on-3. When I try to
Yes,
tell people that it's different.
got to be able to do it all, or you will get exposed.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back. I'm your host, Aaliyah Moore, and I'm super, super excited for today's guest. I got Cube on here, y'all. He came out and supported. I appreciate it so, so much. Thank you so much for being on, Cube.
Anytime, anytime. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you so much. Like I said, I'm really excited, so we're gonna get right into it. And before every episode, I have to ask you, we got to get into your background. How did you get to where you are today? I need to know everything about. I know you were born and raised in LA, so if you can just tell me what was your upbringing like?
Oh man, it was great. A lot of families on our block. I grew up on the street with a lot of boys. There was a lot of boys on the block, so we were always into you know, basketball, football, baseball, uh, bikes, mini bikes, motorcycles. Just it's anything the boys can get into. We was into it. So we had a very competitive neighborhood when it came to athletics. So it was always fun. It was always something to do. Always a lot of people outside. So you could always get into something. On the block or in the neighborhood, and so um, I started getting curious about music. At a young age, hip hop started to become popular and more visible when I was a
Yeah.
youngster, and then I was fascinated by it, and then was just so lucky that Dr. Dre cousin Sir Jinx moved on my street, so that's how I ended up meeting Dr. Dre. Start hanging out 14, 15, just fascinated around the music and that the stuff they was creating. They was doing parties. Dr. Dre was a big name in DJing in LA. So I was exposed to a lot of different cool stuff when it came to hip hop and behind the scenes. Then I started rapping, around 14, kept going, wrote my first hit song at 16. And then
Wow.
and then we started NWA. I was about 17, 18, and it's been rolling ever since.
Wow. That's amazing. This this is so cool because that was around my mom's time. So she would
Hmm.
this it's just so cool. Like I always remember hearing her talk about it and just yeah. I need to stop fangirling too much. But no,
It's
no,
all
that's
good.
amazing.
It's all
That's
good.
I'm sorry. This is so cool.
It was great
Um
times for sure.
yeah. No, that's amazing. And you kind of already transitioned into what my next question was going to be. It was going to be over your music. But you said you started at 14, 14 or
I
15?
started rapping at 14. Yeah,
That's wow.
yeah.
I know you said you just grew up and it just happened. Like you just got in the studio and you were like, I'm gonna just let it go.
Well, just being around professionals like Dre was in this group called the Wrecking Crew, and
Mm,
they were already making records and doing concerts, and so I was kind of injected into the atmosphere to be able to see it from not just a fan buying records, but seeing how records were made,
mm,
seeing what moved the people. Why Dre was the master at rocking the party, so he would know, when to play the hit records, when to hold them back, when, to what moved the people. So learning all that stuff early helped me when I started making music.
mm. Makes sense. Yeah. So you're a man of many talents. You you rap, um, actor, producer, writer. Um, that's just a few of your titles. But what do you believe for you are the ones that you identify with the most, or that you would like to be recognized as? Because you have a lot of titles, but what do you? I know you're proud of all of them, but what, in your opinion, what are you most proud of, if that makes sense?
I'm proud of my writing ability, so I would love to be known as a great writer. Um, Also, everybody want to be somebody top five MC. So I definitely want to be recognized for my skills on the mic, but
Hmm.
also my producing abilities. Whether it's music or movies or the big three.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because I was just about to say, with my podcast, like it's a lot about sports. We talk about other things, but it is mainly I'm an athlete, so we have to talk basketball.
for
You
sure.
launched the Big Three back in 2017. I have to know what led to the creation of the Big Three.
Being a fan, not having enough basketball. After the NBA finals, I would just really kind of hibernate until NFL started. Um, and so just having more hoops, I know the WNBA doing their thing, but to me, you can never get enough basketball. Um, at the peak of basketball, you got college and NBA and the
Mm-hmm.
WNBA going. So it's uh it's pretty cool, just to have another outlet for fans and for players. It was players that I thought were kicked out the NBA a little too quick. They still had game. A lot of them were
Mm-hmm.
going overseas, playing in different countries when we felt like they built up such a fan base from college to pros, and now they nowhere to be found, so to speak. So to have them and have a league where they can still play in the United States at the pro level against their peers, um, to me was just a great idea. And I looked around and we had the right people in place to make it come true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's what's up. And I knew we would get along because I remember I read somewhere, and you said that bringing back like winning, with the winning mentality back to sports was your biggest priority. And for me, I love to win. I hate to lose. I don't like
Yeah.
losing. I'm a sore loser. I'll admit it. So I just wanted to know why winning for you was the first and really only priority to you.
Well, to me, it gives us our edge. When I say us, as Americans on this soil, it gives us our edge when we fight to win. I believe sports, the money has gotten super big. People worried about their brands and not really worried about winning the championship or
Mm-hmm.
winning every game or even playing every game. So, um, we wanted to have a league where basketball was played the right way. Um, defense was, cherished just as much as offense. Um, and we did things to calibrate the game. And to me, it all it's all predicated on winning. You get paid more in our league if you win the game than if you lose the
Mm-hmm.
game. So that right there makes people play a little harder too. We felt like when it came to revenue sharing, that the first place team should get the most money, and all the way second place, third place, So if you want to win, you get more money.
Yeah.
So it's all predicated on winning the game. I think that's what the fans want to see. Um, doing things like taking out garbage minutes, first to 50 win. It's a sprint.
Mm-hmm.
It's no time for garbage. No time to play around. No time to
Yeah.
think you got a 20-point lead and you can run the clock out. So first to 50 win. And we've we've just cut out a lot of the fat and made it about the pure game. And people love it.
Yeah. I respect that. I think right now, like you said, NIL is a big thing, and just people trying to make their brand. A lot of people are about just money, money, money right now, and I think that has taken away from the game some, in some aspects. But it's also helped the growth of women's basketball like crazy. So it's a good thing and a bad thing. But no, I respect that. I think that's cool. The first to 50 is a good rule, and then like you said, if you want the money, you better win. So
Yeah.
let's go.
Let's
But I
go.
would love to know, yeah, I would love to know who's been the biggest surprise or blessing that you've seen come out of the big three, like someone that just kind of made a name for themselves.
Oh wow, I look at players who, may have been, overlooked um, and didn't get their shine in the NBA. You know, players like Andre Emmett. You know, rest in peace. He passed away, but he was able to show that he could play. You know,
Mm-hmm.
on a high level. I look at you know, players like Isaiah Briscoe, who, you know, didn't get his shot in the NBA, but is a two-time champion in the Big Three. Um, and so players like Kevin Murphy, who's an MVP of the league. Um, it's just, you know, seeing guys, you know, being able to get their shine. Hezzy God last year, you know, the Hezzy God was able to show what he got last year, and hopefully get a bump in his career and his brand and everything he's doing, you know, just by, you know, winning and being able to get busy. So
Mm-hmm.
it's been amazing to see guys that, you know, that's great at the 3-on-3 game. It's a totally different game. You have to be able to do it all to succeed in 3-on-3. You got to be able to pass, dribble, shoot, and defend. No specialists out here, you know, no 3-point guys, no rebound guys, no strictly defense guys. You know, you got to be able to do it all or you will get exposed. So, you know, certain athletes are really made for this type of basketball even more than the 5-on-5 style.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I've dabbled a little bit in 3-on-3. I've had experience with USA, Team USA, and just doing it for school or for fun. I love 3-on-3, but like you said, it's different. Like the speed, you have to be an all around player. You can't just be a
Yes.
one dimensional player. So yeah, it's definitely different. It's not you have people that can play 5-on-5 and people that can't play 3-on-3. And I try to
Yes.
tell people that it's different.
Totally different
It's
game.
yeah,
And so we get athletes that have honed their skills, and you need all those tricks of the trade to be
yeah.
able to get loose in 3-on-3 because
Hmm.
a defender really can lock you up. And so you got to be able to, you know, understand the game, understand how you're going to get loose, understand how the transitions work from defense to
Hmm.
offense so quick. It's a lot to gather, and we got a 14-second shot clock, so that don't make it any easier. You
Yeah,
know, it makes it actually faster.
yeah. So you're in season 7. Has the big three surpassed your expectations so far? Like, is it everything that you imagined it to be?
It is. You know, it's we've calibrated the game over these. You know, it's been 8 years for us because we didn't have a season during COVID, so we've been calibrating the game over these 8 years,
Hmm.
and we think we got a game that's beautiful. You know, it's fun to play for the players and it's fun to watch for the fans. And so we hit a sweet spot. And going into season 7, you know, everybody know what to expect. Everybody know our rules. Everybody know how to strategize in our league. Everybody
Hmm.
knows how to use. You know, we got a rule called "Bring the Fire," where a coach can challenge a foul each half and say, "Hey, let those players go 1-on-1, and we'll see if it was a foul." And so those kind of wrinkles we think are stuff the fans love because you really
Hmm.
never get a chance to see players go 1-on-1 in
You
a
don't.
basketball game. Um, you know, maybe in the All Star game, everybody will move out, and then you'll see that for half a second. So
Yeah.
making it a rule where each coach can use it once a half. Um, and you know, some fouls are questionable. You might be like, "Come on, man, you know that wasn't a foul." You know, let them bring the fire on that. You know, so it gives the coach a little recourse, and it puts it in the player's hands. Did you foul him? If you missed the shot, it wasn't a foul. If he makes the shot, it's the points and the foul. So, you know, it's really a mano a mano kind of thing. You know,
Hmm.
player versus player. You know, who got it? Who's ready to do it? So those kind of rules we think are great for the game.
Yeah, I agree. I love that. So as a basketball player, I have to ask, and I was in March Madness. I got to shout out my team. We lost in the Elite Eight, but we're always a front runner. I'm telling you, next year we win in a natty. I'm mark my words. I'm speaking it into existence.
Hmm.
But Iowa was on the opposite side of the bracket. I got to ask,
Yes.
Caitlyn Clark.
Hmm.
I saw she was offered. It was everywhere. She was offered to play in the league. I
Hmm.
wanted to know, did that offer still stand? What's going on with that?
Well, I mean, we've moved on. We felt like, she didn't want to, take us up on it. And, it wasn't just the money. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if she didn't want to really, play against guys, we don't really know that. We didn't have a chance to talk to her. We really spoke to the agents, and so it was a big swing. We believe it would have unlocked a lot of sponsor dollars. That's
Mm-hmm.
what we were told, and so and we thought it would be great. If she was up for the challenge to 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 stop guessing if it could happen, or could a player like that do it. And we felt like offering her the offer made sense because small guards have had success in our league. It's not like we don't have a precedent for somebody with her skill set
Mm-hmm.
who's came in the league and got busy. So um, if she was a bigger player that really had to bang down low, I don't know if we would have made the offer. But we felt like if she was up for the challenge, it could be groundbreaking in sports.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For a lot of reasons, and we think just making the offer, we've elevated the talk of salary and compensation
Mm-hmm.
for the ladies at the next level. Hopefully even in college. So it's really, once again we've changed the game by being bold. We have two female coaches, Nancy Lieberman and Lisa
Mm-hmm.
Leslie. Both of them
Go.
have won. Both of them have won the championship. Both of them have won Coach of the Year. They're Hall of Famers. Um, so we've been pushing the game forward as much as we can from our vantage point for the better. And
Mm-hmm.
so we're going to continue to do that, not just because we can, but just to make the game better. Why not?
Yeah, why exactly? Why not? I can tell you, I appreciate that just because I have dreams to play pro after college. And like you said, even though she didn't sign or whatever, just seeing that all over social media, that blowing up, it really does something for women's basketball, and people see that and they're like, oh, maybe I should lock in and start paying attention to what these women are doing because obviously it's something. So I That's amazing. And something else that also popped up, I don't know if you saw, Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart, the Unrivaled Women's 3-on-3 League.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know if you heard about that, but
Yeah,
any
we
thoughts
did.
on that? Yeah.
We wish them luck. It's not easy to introduce a new pro sport, especially to the American public who I think the last time they accepted a sport like, out of nowhere was UFC. You know,
Hmm.
so it's a hard road. It's a long road, but it's very satisfying because you get a chance to make people's dreams come true. People can extend their careers. Uh, people that can't make it to the WNBA gives them an option if they can play on the 3-on-3 pro level. Um, so we're here to offer any kind of support and advice if they want to learn from us or work with us. We're open to helping them in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, appreciate that. Okay, I want to make sure I read this right, but you were honored at the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield, where you received the inaugural Ice Cube Impact Award, acknowledging individuals making substantial contributions to their community through basketball. and you were the
Yes.
only non-player to do so.
Yeah.
Like round of applause. So I got to know, what was
Thank you.
that moment like?
A great honor. Never in a million years did I think that, I would end up in the Basketball Hall of Fame, for any reason, let alone having an award named after me that we're going to give out every year to different people who deserve recognition for what they're doing with the game of basketball. I'm not a player. I'm just a fan of the game,
Mm-hmm.
and being able to do this league for my heroes, like, we got coaches like Dr. J and Iceman, George Gervin, and Rick Barry, and
Mm-hmm.
Nancy Lieberman, and Michael Cooper, and Gary Payton. Being able to put a league together, with my heroes and work with them, on a daily basis, it was award enough for me. But
Yeah,
this just takes it over the top, and extremely grateful to the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame for recognizing, what I've done for the game. But it's not just me. I gotta say my partner Jeff Quantnitz, who we've been working together for 30 years. He needs half of this award dedicated to him too, because he's just as passionate as I am for the game.
that's awesome. So Cube, you never actually hooped?
Well, I did when I was younger. I played YMCA in Inglewood, played at that. Definitely balled out neighborhoods, backyards, schoolyards. We've challenged people. I played on my elementary team, even though the punk ref took away my winning shot. He said I traveled, but I didn't. And I was in the sixth grade. I still remember that. Hit the winning shot, and the ref was like, nah, nah, nah. I'm like, dude, I'm 12. You gonna take this away from a kid? You're a sucker. So, so yeah, I balled out, and then I started playing football, and you know, the I was trying it out for my high school team, but my high school coach hated on me because I was already playing football, and if you're
Mm,
playing football, you're gonna be late to basketball. So
yep, yep.
I didn't play in high school, but I've always loved the game, always appreciated the game, and always been a fan.
That's what's up. So if the chance ever comes, we got to play horse or something. I ain't gonna play in one on one. I don't want to beat you too bad, but we gotta play horse or something.
I didn't
Can you
retire from the
shoot?
game. I
Oh,
could
you
still
retired?
shoot, but I retired. You didn't see me at the podium about 5 years ago. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, it's time for me to hang up the old I had Chuck Taylors on. So I
Mm.
guess when you playing Chuck Taylors, you can't last too long out there. So yeah, I done retired.
Okay, okay, that's fine. I'm gonna get that horse game in though one day for sure.
Not from
um,
me, but I feel you.
okay, I tried, man. Okay, I tried. Okay, we're getting to the end. But before we wrap it up, there's something I have at the end called shot clock. It's basically like rapid fire questions. It's only 5 questions that I'll ask
Okay.
you. Nothing too crazy. But just give me the answer first thing that pops in your mind.
All right.
All right. So the first one is, you kind of already told me, but what is your first sports related memory? I know you told me about the thing in sixth grade, but do you have anything earlier than that?
Yeah, crying to my mother because my big brother wouldn't let me play basketball with them because they said they was playing too rough.
Mm,
Yeah, I was
okay.
little. I was like 3, 4, maybe 5. But yeah, I couldn't. It was like, you're a little kid, man. You can't play. I was just hurt. That's my first
Oh,
memory. Yeah.
okay. Second one, current favorite rapper.
Current favorite rapper, Ice Cube.
Period. Yep. Hey,
Yeah.
I just wanted to see what you said, but yeah, I like the answer. Okay, who
Mhm.
is your goat? I'll take one from NBA and one from WNBA.
I don't believe in goats. I really don't. So let's just make goat curry out of both of them.
Okay. Why don't you believe in goats? People can just hoop.
um, yeah, that all time stuff is stupid because it's infinite. Um, you didn't play in every era. Stop it. Like, what are we talking
Okay.
about? There's no such thing
Okay.
as goats.
Okay. I've never heard that. That's valid. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I know you've traveled all around the world. So what is a dream or what is a vacation destination that you would recommend?
Oh man, I love the Bahamas. I love Maui. You know, sending my heart out to everybody. I used to be on Front Street that just had that tragic fire. Um, so I love those two spots. I love Mexico. I love Cabo. Um, and so those are the spots that I really love.
So, okay, last one. I need a fun fact about you, something that people may not know or they forget.
They may not know or they forget. Fun fact. Um, hey, I got a tortoise named Larry. He's
Okay, that's a fun
14
fact.
years old. Yeah, he's 14
Oh,
years old. So, you
okay.
know, people might not know that. Yeah, he's a big dude too. Heavy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Q. One last thing before we go. Just any words of advice for me, anybody that's listening, that's just trying to grind, do it on their own, figure it out, make a way. And like I told you, for me, I'm trying to be good at multiple different things like you are. You can write,
Yeah.
produce, act. But just any words of advice for how to get there and just for people that might not believe in you and all the no's you might get and then finally getting a yes, like just any advice for anybody listening.
Always be yourself. Be authentic. Trust yourself. Don't be scared to do things you haven't done. Pay attention. Um, and do what it takes. You know, everybody know what they want to pursue, but then you got to find out what it takes to get there.
Mhm.
Do it.
Period. Mic drop. I love that. But again, thank you so much, everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure to tune into the Big Three. Big things happening there, and more access my podcast. Big things happening here. And again, thank you so much, Q, for being on. Listeners, make sure to rate, review, and subscribe. This season, we're expanding, and we're gonna have great people on. As you can see, guest one was already a big hit. So yeah, thank you so much, Cube, and we're out.